welcome to today's practice. We're going to focus on opening up through the lower half of the body today. So focusing around the solar plexus, the sacral chakra. So opening up through the hips and the hip flexors. So I hope that feels good for you. We hold a lot of tension through our hips, and it's an area that I've always been pretty tight in. So it's a place where I try and focus attention wherever I can. So that's what we're going to focus on today. So we're going to start laying down. If you do happen to have a yoga block, that would be handy if you have one. If not, doesn't matter, it's just an option. So grabbing a yoga block if you've got one, we're going to lay all the way down and start by just pressing your feet into the earth, bending through your knees, feet nice and wide, knocking knees together. Just relax with your arms down by your sides, just closing down your eyes. Just beginning our practice, just allowing ourselves to be nice and grounded. So allowing a bit of softness to come through the eyes. And sending that softness around the cheekbones. Allow your jaw to relax. Noticing how you can soften your back into the ground. So by coming to this broken bridge position, it's nice and soothing on the lower spine. So just giving your body a few moments to settle into the ground. And let's settle into the breath. So just noticing your natural breath as it is right now. We'll start to bring in some deeper cleansing breaths. So when you're ready, just start to exhale everything out of your mouth, let it go. Take a deep breath in through your nose for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1, pausing at the top, and exhale out of your mouth for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Deep inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing at the top. Exhaling out of your mouth for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Deep inhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding at the top. Exhale, let it go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just one more inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing at the top. And let that breath go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just bringing back an Ujjayi breath. Just bringing the lips together. Finding a soft restriction at the back of your throat. And letting that breath be a little bit more audible. So still keeping a nice deep breath. Notice how the lips come together, and you can still make that breath that little bit deeper. Just letting it all go out of your nose. And we'll start to just windshield wiper the knees side to side, bringing a little bit of movement in. Just allowing the spine to kind of wake up from our sleep. And just letting your body know that you have it today. Acknowledging all sensations running through the body, anything that feels a little icky, just acknowledging whether it's tightness, discomfort, just knowing that it's that. And we'll start to bring the feet a little bit closer together. Now, if you do have a yoga block, we're going to lift the hips and place that block underneath the sacrum and just pause in a supported bridge. So you can definitely do this variation without a yoga block. So just allowing your body to melt here, taking a few rounds of breath, letting your back melt into the ground. Just letting the eyes get a little bit heavy. Continue to hold on to that Ujjayi breath. Alright, you can either stay here if you do have that block underneath you, or see what it feels like to straighten out the legs. can be quite intense on the lower spine, so you can always bend the knees again if you are on that block today. Just for a couple more breaths. Alright, and if the legs are straight, we're going to bend them once again. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. So whether you've got the block underneath you or without, we're looking for a sensation down that left hip flexor. So it'll sometimes take a little moment or two for it to really kind of feel anything. So if you do have your knee bent, just see what it feels like to straighten that leg as you guide your right knee in towards your chest. Just allow that left leg to get really heavy here. Notice how you can relax the upper body. So it's going to be a focus today as we focus on the lower half of the body, opening it up. We want to try and relax the upper body at the same time, not holding any tension there. So we'll just be here for a few more big breaths. Beautiful, and then slowly release the right foot down and just bending both knees. Just take a moment, take a breath, and then we'll bring in that left knee. So you can either do that by bringing the left knee in and keeping that right knee bent. You're still going to feel a sensation after a few breaths down that right hip flexor. But if you want it deeper, we're going to straighten that right leg. So noticing sensations through the body, noticing if it feels a little easier or tighter on this side, just acknowledging the sensations. Just letting that Ujjayi breath come on in. So really connecting to the breath today as much as possible. Breathing in through your nose, breathing out of your nose. And just taking another breath here. And then we'll slowly release that left foot down and then bending both knees, just taking a pause. If you have that block underneath you, just lift your hips and remove that block to the side. And then we'll take the feet nice and wide once again, relax the arms, just windshield wipe your knees side to side. Alright, let's start to bring the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a little hug. And I'll take the hands underneath the knees, tuck your chin in, and just rock and roll the length of your mat about 3 or 4 times. We're going to come up to all fours, however you want to get there. So if you do have any cushioning for your knees, that's probably a good option. I've just realised I don't have any. I'm going to have a little drawer here with a little towel. So I'm just going to put that extra cushion in underneath my knees today. All right. We're going to start with hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Let's take an inhale to lift the heart forward, finding our cow pose, allowing your shoulders to relax. Now while you're in this position, let's take the knees a little bit wider and bring the toes to touch. My knees are completely off that towel, but never mind. So we're going to widen the knees, toes to touch. We're keeping the chest lifted just for another exhale. And then softly take another inhale. Now as you exhale, start to round your spine, take that gaze in, and then send glutes towards heels for a bit of a child's pose. And just lengthening through the arms. So we're not going to pause here. We're going to slowly rise all the way up, back to that cow pose. Nice neutral spine, and then lift the heart, tailbone to the sky. Exhale to round the spine, sending glutes towards your heels. Stretch the arms out, find that child's pose. Inhale as you slowly rise up. Take that inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale to round the spine, glutes towards the heels. Let the head relax. Let's take another couple of rounds. Inhale, find that lift. Belly button relaxes to the ground. Exhale, rounding through the spine, glutes to heels. Take an inhale to lift all the way back up. And as you round and melt the hips down. Let's take one more inhale to rise all the way up. And then this time as we round the spine, we're going to come all the way back to that child's pose. And just allow your forehead to melt down here. Notice if the knees can get a little bit wider apart. Notice how your head melts down into the ground. Just letting your breath be really heavy. Breathing in through your nose. Breathing out of your nose. And just connecting with that breath. Just for a few moments, let it sink in. Allow your heart to melt towards the ground. And just giving yourself a moment here. Maybe setting yourself an intention for your practice. What do you need to get out of your practice today? What brought you to your mats? How do you want to move your body today? Maybe you want to switch off your mind and focus on the breath. Just keep that intention in your mind. Just taking one more big breath here. And slowly start to rise all the way up. Just taking your time to get there, coming back to that neutral tabletop. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. All right, we're going to start to click that right foot over to the right and then send the left foot to the back of the mat so that the foot is parallel to the right knee and the right hand. Extend your left arm up towards the sky, getting nice and long here. Just bringing that belly button in and kind of pressing your pelvis slightly forward. Feel the stretch down that left foot all the way to the left hand, maybe taking that left arm up and over your head. Taking the gaze upwards towards the sky, open up through the heart. Just find a soft breath in and a soft breath out. We're going to bring some crunches in here. So start to bring that left hand behind the back of your head and then take a breath in. Left elbow to the sky, exhale, crunch left knee to that left elbow. And then inhale to press that left heel away, left elbow to the sky. Exhale to crunch it in nice and controlled. Inhale to extend. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale to extend. Exhale to crunch. Exhale to extend. Continue just like this for the next 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend both arm and leg, hold it here, inhale, and exhale, we'll sweep the left hand down, bring that left knee down, and just kick that left foot out to the left. Bring that right foot parallel to the left knee, the left hand, so that right foot goes to the back of the mat, and extend your right arm high. And start to send that right arm up over your head, so you're kind of bowing that little right side of your body. Pressing the pelvis slightly forward, just so that you can feel into that right lat a little bit more. Find your breath. And take that right hand behind your head, right elbow to the sky as you inhale. Exhale, crunch right knee to right elbow. Inhale to extend, press the right heel away, right elbow to the sky. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale to extend. Exhale to crunch. Inhale to extend. Continuing like this for another 5. Use that UGI breath for 4. For 3, 2, and 1. Extend arm and leg, pausing here for a breath, and then bringing the right hand down, the right knee down. Just coming back to that all fours position. All right, we're going to tuck the toes, lift the hips high, find your downward facing dog. Start to pedal out your feet, just bending one knee at a time, bringing some movement in. Noticing how your body feels on this maybe first downward dog of the day. Taking that gaze down towards your feet.
Letting your head hang nice and heavy. Bringing a little sway to the head, side to side. Bringing that movement in through the feet. As you press your fingers in towards the ground, feel the strength through your forearms, all the way to your shoulders. Let your heart melt towards your thighs as you find stillness in your dog. Noticing if you've got a good distance between the hands and feet. Bring soft little bend to the knees. Take a breath in as the hips lift towards the sky. Soft breath out. Let's take an inhale, roll the body forward to a high plank, shoulders above the wrists. Notice if you need to move your hands or feet at all to get there. Taking a pause here, just pressing shoulder blades up towards the sky, belly button hugs in. Take another breath in. Exhale, bending the knees, lift your hips up towards the sky. Just keeping with that distance between the hands and feet. Find that soft breath as you let your head relax here. Guide your heels down towards the ground. Find that Ujjayi breath. Alright, we'll slowly bring the feet a little closer together, maybe touching. Let's take an inhale to lift the right heel high, bend your knee, stack your hip. Just find some knee circles here, circling in one direction. Take it into the opposite direction. I'll take an inhale to lift that right heel nice and high. And as you exhale, step that right foot forward between your hands. So it feels like to get there. I'm just going to bring that left knee to the ground. And then just start to lift your body up and just bring your hands to that right thigh. So you can just press your hands on that thigh. You want to make that left knee go back a little bit further so we're melting into that left hip flexor. Right, we're going to start to round the spine and gaze inward. So holding out your belly, draw your tailbone down. So we want to try and get into that left hip flexor a little bit more. So continue to gaze down, round the spine, hollow out your belly, and just take a few breaths here. Nice strong Ujjayi breath. Alright, let's take an inhale, reach the arms nice and high, get tall. Exhale, cactus through the arms, lift through your heart. Let's take an inhale to reach arms high. Exhale, bring hands towards the inside of that right foot. Just wiggle your right foot out to the edge of your mat. We're going to come into a active lizard pose. So fingertips towards the ground or on top of blocks if you have them. And just allow that left hip flexor to melt towards the ground. Just keeping your shoulders nice and soft. Soft breath in. Soft breath out. Just noticing the inhale, noticing the exhale. Alright, we'll slowly start to bring hands towards the ground, planting the hands, lift the back knee, send that right foot up towards the sky, one-legged dog. Exhale as you bring that right foot all the way down, and take a deep breath in. Deep breath out, let it go. Bringing toes together, lift that left heel to the sky, bend your knee, stack your hip, circle that left knee one direction. And then start to circle in the opposite direction. Take an inhale to lift that left heel nice and high. Exhale, bring that left foot forward between the hands. Bringing the right knee down to the ground. And then just lifting your body up, bringing hands onto that left thigh. You're going to start by rounding the spine, taking that gaze down, drawing the tailbone down so that you can feel into that right hip flexor. Let the shoulders soften. Feeling those sensations, making any little adjustments so that you can feel that right hip flexor. A couple more Ujjayi breaths. Alright, then slowly take an inhale, reach your arms nice and high. Exhale, cactus through the arms, lift your heart. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, bring hands down to the inside of that left foot. Wiggle your left foot out to the edge of your mat. And just bringing fingertips to the ground. So really sinking back, sending that right knee a tiny bit further back if you need to. And just making sure that that left knee is just above your left ankle. Feel that left inner thigh open up. Find that soft breath in, that soft breath out. Just allow yourself to melt in. Let's start to plant hands into the ground, lift the back knee, send that left foot all the way up towards the sky, and then gently bring that left foot all the way down. Let's take a pause in that downward dog, find a couple of deep breaths in, deep breaths out, let it go. We're going to start to move into our flow now. Now I've got a bit more open, so let's bend the knees, gaze forward, step or walk forward, forward fold. Let's take an inhale to lift up halfway, flat back. Exhale as you melt and forward fold. Grip the ground with your heels and slowly rise up to stand, taking your time to get there. Reach arms nice and high. As you exhale, start to forward fold, fingertips towards the ground. With an inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, melt and fold. Inhale, slowly rise up to stand, reach arms nice and high. Exhale, gently forward fold. Let's take an inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale as you fold, bend your knees, find a chair pose, reach your arms up high, maybe wiggling the feet a little closer together. Now the feet can be about hip distance apart or feet to touch. For me, it feels better to have the feet about hip distance. We're going to sink the hips a little lower, lift the chest and reach through the arms. Find that Ujjayi breath in, that Ujjayi breath out as you squeeze the belly button together. Start to bring hands to heart center. I'm going to find a twist to the right. So it could be a little twist, just twisting the body, or bringing that left elbow to the outside of that right knee as you press the palms together. Just guide that right shoulder blade back through space. Squeeze your belly button in so you can twist a tiny bit more. And we're going to get really strong here in that twist. So start to lift that left heel off the ground. Rooting the right foot down, really slowly step that left foot to the back of the mat for a high twist. Continue to guide the right shoulder blade back. Press that left heel away. Find that breath in, a soft breath out. Now slowly bring hands back to heart center, lift the chest. Keep that front knee bent. And then we're slowly going to rotate to the back of the mat so that you're rotating and bending the left knee and lifting the back heel. Find a high crescent lunge, reach arms nice and high. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, bring hands back to heart center and twist to the left. Could be a little twist, could be a bigger twist by placing that right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Guide the left shoulder blade back. Find strength through that left foot. Find that Ujjayi breath. Now really slowly start to step that right foot forward to meet the left, to meet that chair twist. Take a pause here, breathe it in. Exhale as you sink a little bit more. Slowly bring hands back to heart center. Reach your arms high for that chair pose. Sink the hips, lift the heart, inhale. Exhale, hold it here. Take an inhale, reach the arms nice and high. As you exhale, gently forward fold, let everything go. Take an inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale as you melt and forward fold. Take an inhale to rise all the way up, reach up nice and tall. Exhale, gently forward fold. Take an inhale to lift up halfway. And exhale as you melt. This time, inhale, bend your knees, find that chair pose at the back of the mat. Reach arms high, lift the heart. Take a pause here as you press your heels into the ground. Softly bring hands to heart center. Find that lift through the heart as you press the palms together. Sink the hips a little lower. Find that twist to the left. Maybe it's that little twist. Maybe it's a little bit deeper. We want to open up through the heart as we press the palms together. Find that breath. Breathe it in. Softly hold it here for the exhale. Now start to lift that right heel. Nice and softly. Gently step that right foot all the way back. High twist. Beautiful. Guide the belly button in. Pausing here. Sink a little deeper into the front knee. Now really softly bring hands to heart center as you come through center, bending that front knee. We're slowly rotating the body to the right and then pointing the right toes forward as we lift the back heel, finding a little pose here. Then pausing here for an inhale, reach arms nice and high, high crescent. Exhale, bring hands back to heart center, twist to the right. Maybe taking that gaze up over that right shoulder. Squeezing the belly button in. Take a pause, bending into the front knee, and start to really slowly launch that left foot forward to meet the right for a height. For that chair twist to the right. Find your breath. Slowly bring hands back to heart center. Reach your arms high, find that chair pose. Deep breath in. Hold it here for the exhale. Inhale, reach arms nice and high. And as you exhale, bring hands down to heart center. Close down your eyes. Just wiggling the feet about hip distance apart if they're not already there. Taking a few cleansing breaths here. Noticing the breath. Noticing the rise and fall of your chest, of your abdomen. Letting it sink in. Let that breath be with you. Hold on to that breath. Just recommitting to your intention for your practice today. Reaffirm your intention, whatever it might be. With an inhale, flutter open the eyes and reach your arms up high. Exhale, let's forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat back. Exhale, melt and fold. Plant your hands, step back to a downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out, let it go. With an inhale, lift that right heel high. Exhale, bring your right foot forward between your hands, just pausing here. Start to bring the left heel down. Start to walk your hands over to the left side of your mat. So we're in like a warrior two lunge. So gripping the ground with your left foot, sinking into the front knee, creeping those fingers away from the mat and letting your head hang heavy. Take a breath here. Sink into the pose a little bit more on the exhale. Now keep sending your butt back through space. So the more we kind of stick our booty out, the more we're going to forward fold. Start to walk your hands towards that left foot. You're going to find extended side. So option to bring that right forearm to the top of your right thigh and extend your left arm up over your head. Find that length once again from the left foot all the way to the left fingertips. Rotate your heart to point towards the sky. Find that breath. Breathe it in. As you exhale, slowly rise with control. Reverse that warrior. Right arm lifts up and over. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, straighten that front leg. Reach that right arm forward as far as possible. Trikonasana. Bring that right hand towards the ground. Maybe it's on the inside or the outside of that right foot. Just guiding that left arm to the sky. You can always use a block underneath the hand if your hand doesn't reach the ground. So
try not to hold onto your leg, just to protect your joints. Reach up a little bit further out of that left shoulder. Find that breath. And then as you exhale, start to windmill that left hand towards the ground, framing the front foot. Now fingertips to the ground as you lift the back leg, warrior three. So either fingertips to the ground, hands to heart center, find your arm variation. Stamping that left heel away, find that Ujjayi breath. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Now really slowly start to bend the front knee, bring fingertips towards the ground if they're not already there. Step that left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Lower the left knee down for a low lunge. Then we're going to walk that right foot over to the outside of the right of the mat. So just outside your right hand for that active lizard once again. Now if you do happen to have blocks, you can have those underneath the hands, the forearms, just to sink into that lizard pose a little bit more. So I like to use blocks underneath my hands so it allows my shoulders to relax a little bit more. Just allowing your body to melt in. But noticing any sensations here. Noticing what you might need. So I just need to bring a little bit of movement into that right outer hip because it feels like it's cramping a little bit. So just acknowledging the sensations, what you need. Whether you want to stay upright on your hands or bring the forearms down. Just taking a few breaths, whatever your body is telling you it needs right now. Just taking that pause wherever you are. Let the breath come in. Let your body sink. All right. Now when you feel ready, you're going to start to wiggle that right foot over to the left and send the right knee towards the ground for a pigeon pose. Now this variation can be done on your back if your hips feel a little bit tight today. And if you, so I do have tight hips today. I'm going to bring a block underneath that right glute and that's going to support my glutes. So if your glute does not reach the ground, it's definitely a good idea to pop something underneath it. I'm going to click the right toes into the ground so we protect the right knee. And just staying upright to start with. So just noticing that breath. Breathing it in. Letting it go. You're welcome to stay upright for this pigeon pose today. Or maybe sinking all the way down to a sleeping pigeon. Resting your forehead maybe on a block or your hands. Just so that you can melt in. Today, my right hip feels pretty tight, pretty tense. So I need to send all my breath there. So I advise you to do the same if you're feeling tightness. We're going to make those breaths a little bit deeper, a little bit longer. So breathe in through your nose for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out of your mouth for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out your mouth for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And let it go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just melting in, just for another round of breath, just on your own. And when it feels good, we'll start to bring hands to the ground.
And this time we're gonna just remove anything under the seat and just roll onto your sit bones and bring that right foot to the inside of that left leg. So it doesn't really matter where you're facing. We want to be facing, our bodies want to be facing that left foot. So with an inhale, reach arms nice and high, then pivot your body to face that left leg, and then slowly hinge forward, bringing hands towards that left leg, the left foot, and just guide your gaze towards that left knee. Just giving your body time to melt in. And just acknowledging that it can feel a little bit tighter at different times of the day. So I'm definitely feeling a little tighter right now because it's morning. And that's okay. We just have to use that breath to sink in that little bit more. Give our body time to melt in. Just taking another round of breath wherever you are. And then just really slowly start to rise all the way up. We'll bring hands to the mat. And then just find a downward facing dog. Ooh, take what movements you need here to unravel that right leg. Maybe a little bend. If you want to extend the leg and find any circles with the knee. And just figuring out what the body needs to unwind, unravel. Just taking those breaths, meeting back in our downward facing dog. Find that soft breath in, that soft breath out. And when you're ready, let's start to extend that left heel towards the sky. Exhale, step that left foot forward between your hands. Bring the right heel down. Start to walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. So keeping that warrior two position with the feet, sinking into the front knee, gripping the ground with your right toes. Let your head hang heavy between your arms, maybe even creeping the hands further away from your mat so you can really get that full long stretch. Find that breath in, that soft breath out. Notice if you can keep pressing the glutes away so that you're really sinking that little bit deeper, melting in. Use that breath to walk your hands over towards the left foot, finding your version of extended side, maybe that left forearm to the top of the left thigh, and extend your right arm up and over. Sink a little deeper into the front knee, grip the ground with that right foot. Find that soft breath. In through the nose, out through your nose. Take another breath in. Exhale, reverse warrior, left arm lifts up and over. Inhale. Exhale, start to straighten the front leg, reach that left arm forward all the way and bring that hand all the way towards the ground. Extend that right arm to the sky. Find that big breath and sinking a little bit more. Continue to grip the ground with your feet. Reach up out of that right shoulder. Find that breath in and softly sweep that right hand towards the ground. Begin to bend the front knee as you reach the fingertips forward. Find warrior three, lifting that back leg. Maybe hands are to a block, the ground, or maybe lifting them off the earth. Stamp that right heel away. Find that Ujjayi breath in, that Ujjayi breath out. Now softly bend into the front knee and step that right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Bring that right knee down towards the ground. Beautiful. Start to wiggle that left foot to the edge of your mat, finding that lizard pose. Ooh, so I'm feeling pretty crampy on both sides today. So acknowledging your body is super important. Normally I can sink straight into a lizard pose, but today feels really kind of crampy. So I kind of need to keep a bit of movement going.
So figuring out what feels good for you, whether you want to sink into that pose, whether hands are on blocks, the ground, maybe forearms are down, maybe you're cramping like me and need to find movement. It's very unusual that I have this as well, so that's interesting that I have that today. So yeah, always acknowledging the body and looking out for it. If I was to just stay in stillness, that would not be very enjoyable. So just figuring out what your body needs, just for a few breaths. That's when the Ujjayi breath really comes in helpful for those places that feel a little icky, that need that little extra attention. Sending the breath there can really help you melt in. So just taking a few more rounds of breath here. And then when you're ready, we'll bring hands to the ground if they're not there already. And then just wiggle that left foot over to the right, sending that left knee towards the ground for a pigeon pose, making those adjustments that you need to. Again, you can do this on your back. You're going to place something underneath the left glute just to support you, and just allow your upper body to just lift off to start with, just so that you can allow the hips to settle. We often jump into a sleeping pigeon straight away, and then we don't really have square hips when we do that. So just giving your body the attention to melt in, let the muscles soften, and either stay here or find that sleeping pigeon. Resting your forehead on hands or a block. And just sending that message to that outer left glute to relax. So let's use that nice big breath. Breathing in for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out the mouth for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Deep inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just taking another breath at your own pace. Melting in. And slowly coming up when you're ready. Oh, right. We're slowly going to roll onto the hips and bring that left solar foot to inner right thigh. So finding that position with that right leg extended, flexing the right foot. Let's take an inhale to reach the arms high. Pivoting your body to face the right foot and slowly hinging forward. Just taking your time to melt in. And just letting your head go. Finding that soft breath in through the nose, out through your nose, your mouth, whatever feels good now, no pressure. Just let your body melt in, giving it the space to unwind, to let go. Just taking a couple more rounds of breath. And when you're ready, slowly rise all the way up. We're going to take the hands towards the top of the mat, coming back to that downward facing dog. Your last one of this practice. Taking what movements you need, maybe extending the left leg, finding some movements to unwind. Sending hips towards the sky, maybe bending one knee, then the other.
We're just taking a pause just for the last few breaths. Whenever you feel ready, we'll start to bring knees towards the ground and just swoop onto a seat. So just swing your legs out in front of you. We're coming toward the end of our practice already. So we're going to bend the knees, feet root to the ground, arms reach out in front, roll your shoulder blades back, lift through the heart, squeeze your belly button in. We're going to lean back a little bit more, either staying here for this boat pose or lifting the legs. And we're going to slowly lower to the ground for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take arms behind you, full body stretch. Reach up nice and tall, big breath in. And as you exhale, let's bring knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a little hug, a little rock side to side. Pull your knees apart and either stay here or reach for your feet. Find happy baby. Send soles of feet towards the sky. Take a little rock side to side. And let that breath be nice and soft. Soft breath in. Soft breath out. Alright, whenever you feel ready, let's start to bring the feet all the way down. And we'll end with the way we started. So feet nice and wide, knees together for that broken bridge, arms down by your sides. Close down your eyes. Find that soft breath in. And just let everything go. Give yourself these last few moments of your practice to melt in. To relax the muscles in your face, eyebrows, softening the cheekbones, relaxing your jaw, letting the shoulders melt. Arms get heavy, just allowing your back to melt into the ground. Giving yourself time here to purely let go. You have the time, stay here as long as you like. Enjoy your Shavasana. Ready to move on with your day. Start to bring a little movement to your fingers. Start to windshield wipe the knees side to side. If it feels good, we'll start to bring that movement in by bringing feet together and just rolling onto your left side. Use your bicep as a pillow just to take a pause. And then when it feels good, just slowly roll up to a comfortable seat where you can sit nice and tall, nice easy seat. Hands to thighs, just rolling the shoulder blades back, lift through the heart. Let's take a deep breath in, reach arms towards the sky, palms come together. As you exhale, bring hands down towards your heart center. Take a cleansing breath in through your nose, fill up. And a big breath out of your mouth, let it go. Just bow your head. Give yourself gratitude today for coming to your mat, your practice, and moving your body with intention today. It's always my honor to guide you here via our little virtual situation. So thanks for joining me and my practice.